So welcome back to episode 3 in our Aston Martin career here on F1 Manager, and we're going to start with this email because this is an email which I think we're going to get to see quite a bit more for the next few races before our upgrades really start to kick in. And it's another difficult race. The board are a little bit disappointed still that we're only 9th in the Constructors, which at the moment I feel we're only capable of beating Williams. If we have a look at the standings though, all is not lost because Haas haven't scored a point yet and McLaren have only got a single point so far this season. I reckon as we get into the second part of the season, we can pinch that 8th spot in the Constructors at least, and that'll hopefully keep the board happy. We haven't got any new designs or manufacturers or upgrades coming on for this next race at the Albert Park circuit in Australia, but what we are going to do is we're going to have a look at some facility upgrades because we need upgrades quick and our current facilities aren't allowing us to do that. So our next big car facility upgrade is going to be the design centre. Now we're going to focus mainly on the car development facilities to start with because we need to improve the car as quickly as we possibly can. This upgrade will allow us to get us project design capacity up to 3 projects at a single time. That's very important. We can only do 2 at this moment in time, and this is probably the biggest car development facility we need at this moment in time to get them extra designs on. So $11.5 million. Big chunk of our budget, but has to be done. And we've had our first 2 scouting reports through now. Theo Pasheri, as we know, we're happy with his current 2 drivers at the moment. As reserve driver place, if we could break that contract for quite a small cost, I feel it would be worth getting Pasheri in now. But great prospect, young driver, currently in F2, good braking, good smoothness. He's got the stats which I would suggest we can mould him into a superstar here at Aston Martin. There's a bit of work to be done on the reactions and the adaptability, but that will come with age, I'm sure. So Theo Pasheri, definitely a man that we're looking to get in. We won't be doing it before this race weekend, but maybe after. We'll have a look at that in the next episode. Also, Head of Aerodynamics was an area and member of staff that we identified as needed improvement. Roberta Pellegrini's scouting reports come in. She's definitely an improvement. She's very good at the drag reduction, low speed downforce, all the medium downforce, high speed downforce. She's good at all that. I feel she'd be a big improvement on what we've got already. Although she wouldn't catapult us to the front of the grid, she would be an improvement. So again, we're not going to sack a member of staff on the Friday before the race weekend. We're going to give him another chance for this race weekend. But Roberta Pellegrini is another member of staff that possibly in the next episode will be coming to Aston Martin. And the depressing emails keep coming. Ian Craig, who should be a little bit threatened by Roberta Pellegrini at this moment in time, has sent us an email saying basically we're still a very poor performing car in relation to the grid. We're looking 19th in cornering, 19th on high speed, 17th on top speed on the DRS. We've not got a lot going for us at all. In fact, are we good at anything? We're not bad at low speed corners. There's not a lot of positives in that email, is there? So the Albert Park circuit, as we know, is up next in Australia. Always like this circuit, one of the first circuits I learned how to drive on the old F1 games, so always had a bit of a soft spot for this circuit. As we can see, car attributes, top speed's important, low speed cornering's important, so maybe, just maybe, we might have an advantage in a couple of corners on this racetrack. Expected strategies is the 1-stop from medium to hard. There is a more aggressive 2-stop, mediums, hard, medium, but nobody using the soft on the expected strategies at least. Although after looking at Ferrari this past weekend, who knows, Ferrari might go for softs. But we'll get stuck into the race weekend now. We are going to simulate through the first 2 practice sessions, and then we're going to just manage the 3rd practice session itself to tweak the setup, and then hopefully have a good result in quali.
Welcome to Melbourne for a weekend of fierce competition. We're a stone's throw from the beach here at the Albert Park circuit. It might be party mood in the grandstands, but in the paddock, expectations and tensions are high. The Albert Park circuit is bursting with rapid corners and a long straight where drivers can push their speed to the limits. Good attention to medium speed downforce will likely make beating this beast of a track just a little bit easier. At this early stage in the season, there are still plenty of opportunities for things to change. In this sport, there simply are no guarantees. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Formula One.
So after practice, it's very much looking like another battle with the Williams. If we can try and attack one of the McLarens or the Haas's, I'd be delighted with that, but I don't think we're going to manage it. Lance Stroll has looked more comfortable in the car all weekend, so let's get to qualifying and see if we can somehow get into Q2. So after the first run, Stroll had a nightmare, 1 minute 24.9. I think he got traffic, he didn't have a good run at all. Pause for optimism with Sebastian Vettel. We've been here before. P15 after the first run, 1 minute 21.4. He's beating Russell. I'm guessing he had some traffic. Mick Schumacher's probably the one that we can keep behind us, but if Vettel can somehow get into Q2, would be fantastic. I'm still holding out a little bit of hope for Lance Stroll, but we're going to be ready in a couple of seconds to send out our guys. And I think once it gets to sort of 2 minutes 45, I think that's when we're going to send Lance out. The Red Bull's just coming in. He's coming in quite late as well. So let's get ready to send out Lance Stroll. I think now would be a good time to send out Lance. And I think we might as well get Seb ready as well. This is it. It all comes down to this. I don't feel there's much point in showing you the first runs in these qualifying sessions, especially at the moment. Like I said, we are basically back of the grid. So it all comes down really to this final lap in Q1 for us to try and somehow get into Q2. If we get into Q2, the video is going to be a little bit longer, but I wouldn't hold much hope for that at this moment in time. Right, let's get round to the start-finish straight so we can have a look. We're going to be running on board with Vettel first and foremost, and I think we can now come round there, and here we go then. Sebastian Vettel starting his flying lap. Can he maintain his position in P15? Can he get into Q2 for us for the first time in this series? It's going to be very, very difficult. But you never know. You never know. He's got in front of him Latifi to shoot at this moment. I'd be disappointed if he didn't beat the Williams. Then he's got the two Alfa Romeos, which you'd expect to be rather good. They're not in catching distance. We really need mistakes from people behind us as well. There is also a shout that there may be a bit of rain on race day, so that could play into our hands. I reckon the only way we're going to score some points is either a massive crash, which takes out 10 of the other drivers, or we get a strategy call absolutely spot on. Are we likely to do that in his third race as team principal? Maybe not, but there is always hope. There is always hope. Sebastian Vettel is setting green times at this moment, as is Lance Stroll. Looked a bit slow out of that corner, and he has got a Red Bull behind him, which I'm sure is not too impressed to be stuck behind an Aston Martin. But Sebastian Vettel now coming up to the final corner. Can he improve? He looks like he's going to. It's 2 green sectors for Sebastian Vettel. What does he manage to do here? Latifi set a decent time. Sebastian Vettel goes above Latifi. And now it's all on Lance Stroll, who's also now coming up to the penultimate corner. This sharp left-hander, we are good at low cornering, remember? At low speed corners round the final bend. Lance Stroll needs a decent lap here to get himself out of the back of the grid. We don't want to be starting dead last. And we're not going to be starting dead last. He's only 1/10 off of Sebastian Vettel, which is positive. But Alex Albon has split the two Aston Martins. Latifi, he's 19th, and Kevin Magnussen goes just in front of Sebastian Vettel. But Sebastian Vettel only 600ths of a second off of Mick Schumacher. So there's a race to be had there, definitely. So 17th and 19th, disappointing from Stroll again. I know a few people, like I say, are not too impressed with Lance Stroll in this game, or in real life for that matter. But let's see what we can do on race day.
The grid is packed and there's electricity in the air. But there's no surprises in that. It's race day.
Aston Martin were on target for qualifying. Now it's up to them to defy expectations for the race itself. Haas met their potential in qualifying, and they'll be expected to make a good start from the grid. Let's see if they can make it work for them. And the sky is looking grey and cloudy today. An effective tyre strategy could prove very valuable as the race plays out.
Exciting choices lie ahead then for the teams and their drivers here in Melbourne. So let's see what happens.
There's going to be nothing majorly clever with the strategies. I do reckon the one stop is going to be the fastest for us and our best chance of gaining some positions. I do think we can overtake the Williams at splitters, definitely. Can we catch the Haas? That's going to be a different story, but you never know what's going to happen. We're going on, starting on the mediums, going into the hards, around sort of lap 25. But as he did say, David Croft, there is a bit of cloud knocking about and Karen Shannock, so
the drivers have now taken position on the grid, and it's looking like a cloudy day.
it's going to be a race in which we have to
With their starting
We have to
position in the
adapt.
back 10, they'll have their work cut out for them. There's Lance Stroll, down the grid. Slower than most yesterday, so today they'll be starting from the bottom half of the grid. The teams are ready to go. Get ready for the Australian Grand Prix. And it's lights out, and away we go.
So away goes Sebastian Vettel. He gets a decent start. Lance Stroll not so good. Sebastian Vettel's got Mick Schumacher off the start, and Stroll is battling with Albon. Can he get that position? But Vettel has overtaken 2 cars off the start. Sebastian Vettel. Oh, Mick Schumacher's got him back. Sebastian Vettel's up into 16, back down to 17. Nearly.
And there's an overtake from Williams.
But Verstappen took the lead off Sainz as well at the front, but we're going to stick with the Aston Martins at the moment because Sebastian Vettel's managed to get back in front of Yuki Tsunoda. And it's a good start for Sebastian Vettel. Not such a good start for Lance Stroll, who's been overtaken by the other Williams now as well.
Looks like Aston Martin have just gained a
But
race
Sebastian
position.
Vettel doing really, really well there to get away and get a position, especially in front of an AlphaTauri. Now he can chase after Danny Ricciardo. Meanwhile, Lance Stroll, what on earth happened on the start there? Although he does look like he's attacking the Williams at this moment of Latifi. Can he get him? Left-hander, then right. Doesn't look like he can. We can see up the road that Sebastian's going to be under a bit of pressure from Yuki Tsunoda, but that's fine, that's fine. We're going to get Sebastian on his ERS to defend from Tsunoda if we possibly can, and also to keep up with Danny Rick. We want to keep that DRS. Can Lance Stroll make some moves here? We're going to tell him to get on the overtake down this next straight and stay on board with him. Go for it, Lance. Like I said, Lance has looked the more comfortable in the race car all weekend. Can he make a move into turn 1 here? He doesn't look like he's close enough, he can't, so he's going to be stuck behind Nicholas Latifi for a little while longer. Meanwhile, Sebastian Vettel has got Yuki Tsunoda for company behind him, but you've got experience here. We've got experience up against a much younger driver. I'd expect Sebastian to be able to keep Tsunoda behind him for at least this lap. But I'm more interested in the gap to Ricciardo, especially as Danny Ricciardo has now lost the RS to Mick Schumacher. So when DRS is enabled at the end of this lap, that could give Sebastian Vettel a chance to get up to P15 here. Should he manage to keep on keep within a second of him, but he has got Tsunoda for company, who's really putting the pressure on Sebastian now. Is he going to go for a move? Doesn't look like it, but Sebastian's lost. He's out of the DRS range, although the two in front are battling. I don't know if Mick Schumacher's made a mistake there, because Danny Rick were quite behind, but he's caught him up. And Sebastian is going to be within DRS range. Meanwhile, we can see Lance Stroll at the back trying to pressure the Williams, but I don't think he's going to get him just yet. However, he's going to be side by side down into turn 1. He's got the move done straight away, so that's one Williams done. Right, go after Albon now. And we're going to get him on neutral ERS usage. We've got Sebastian Vettel, who's just about staying within touching distance.
Aston Martin with a great play there.
We are better in these low speed corners. This is where we should be gaining the time on Danny Rick, and as you can see, we did gain a little bit of time there, but on the exit, Danny Ricciardo's in a much faster McLaren. And Sebastian's still having to defend, and he's defended a bit of fresh air there against Yuki Tsunoda. But a decent start, all in all, you would suggest. Meanwhile, at the front, Max Verstappen is leading away from Carlos Sainz and Leclerc in third. Perez in fourth, Bottas, Gasly, Hamilton, Russell, Alonso, and then Ocon make up the top 10. But Sainz is looking like he's going to go for a move, is there? Sebastian Vettel's managing to defend. Max Verstappen managing to defend. I bet Sebastian Vettel's wishing he were in the Red Bull at the moment, but back to his point of view, he's lost the RS to Danny Ricciardo, and he's having to do a lot of work to keep Yuki Tsunoda behind him, and he's running out of ERS rapidly as well, so we're just going to switch it back to normal now and see if the longer he can keep Tsunoda behind, but I can't see it now. He's got Yuki Tsunoda behind him on this. Yuki Tsunoda in the faster car with the DRS. Can he manage to defend this? I'll be really impressed if he does. But
Doing a good job.
he's doing okay, he's doing okay. Meanwhile, Lance Stroll has done what we would expect him to do. He's managed to take over both Williams and lead them to fight.
Looks like Aston Martin have just gained a race position.
So it'd be nice to see now if Lance can get onto the back of Yuki Tsunoda and give him something to think about while Sebastian's defending as well as he is. And he is holding Tsunoda up. Lance has suddenly got a little bit of pace from somewhere. And this could work for us. If Sebastian keeps defending as he is doing at this moment in time, it's going to bring Lance Stroll back into play. I mean, Mick Schumacher's down the road now, we can see that. Mick Schumacher's well away, and Danny Ricciardo's overtook him as well, so that McLaren does look pretty quick. But, as I said, Sebastian just doing enough at this moment in time, and Lance Stroll now is within DRS range, hopefully for the start-finish straight, and he's really up the back of Yuki Tsunoda. This is fantastic driving, this from Sebastian Vettel. And the two guys in front, Mick Schumacher and Danny Ricciardo, are battling. That's only going to bring Sebastian back into play. At least we're involved. We weren't involved. Meanwhile, at the front, Leclerc now leading from Sainz. It's the two Ferraris going head-to-head. Sainz with the DRS open. Are they battling? Not quite. And Max Verstappen has got Perez for company as well. So it's Ferrari from Red Bull, where it looks like Sebastian has... Yeah, Sebastian's lost that place to Tsunoda. We'll have a little look at the replay, I think.
Now look at this. It was the Alpha
Down the start finish straight. Lance Stroll tried, in fairness, to follow him through, but didn't quite manage it. So we've now got Tsunoda and Vettel. Tsunoda's pulled out a second on Vettel. I think Tsunoda needed to really, for his race, get past Sebastian as quick as he possibly could. And at this moment in time, both for our guys might as well just keep racing. We've got Albon who's 2 seconds back. We've dropped the Williams by 2 seconds, so that'd be a good time now to fast forward on a little bit. Right, looks like there has been a crash on circuit. It's Lewis Hamilton at turn 13 who's gone off.
Watch the Mercedes here.
Oh, just locked up.
They won't have been
Weird
expecting
sort of
that.
crash that. But Lewis Hamilton, I'm guessing that's him out. So, a lot of people pitting at this moment in time. There isn't a safety car, we've carried on. So Sebastian and Stroll have both carried on. This might be a good time. Pull out attack mode for our guys.
Push. Yeah.
Let's get that unbalanced. And let's get that unbalanced as well. Right, let's utilise these tires. We've got people in. I'm guessing they're the guys who's going to be on the 2-stop.
Copy. Save fuel. Copy.
Right, what is going to be interesting now if
Coast will help. Copy.
Lance Stroll can get K-Mag. I don't want Sebastian fighting. He's on don't fight teammate, that's fantastic. Right, come on Lance now. I've put in a lot of faith in you in this Aston Martin team. I'm hoping that he's going to manage now to get past Kevin Magnussen in the Haas, who I'm guessing has made a pit stop already. So we are already a pit stop behind Magnussen, but that's fine. He's going to be on the 2-stop, we're on the 1 now. We've got both of our cars in DRS. Kevin Magnussen hasn't got that. And now would be the time to overtake if we possibly can, because Sebastian Vettel as well needs to be harvesting some ERS at this moment in time.
Copy.
Meanwhile, Lance can really go and attack him. And here goes Lance Stroll on the right hand side of Kevin Magnussen. He can't get through. And he actually opened the door for Sebastian Vettel, who, fair play to him, following team orders, didn't overtake. But Lance Stroll is all over the back of this ass. But we need to get past him. Right, we'll keep Seb on balanced. We'll put Lance on push, because I'm pretty convinced he can get past Kevin Magnussen here.
Some lift and coast will help that.
Okay.
Right, Seb's dropped back a little bit now, which is fine. He's harvesting that ERS, which is what we want to do. We tried to keep Sonoda behind Seb. We're giving that ERS to deploy that to keep Sonoda behind him. Whereas now, it's all about Lance Stroll, and can he get past Kevin Magnussen, who's a driver I really do like in real life, and might be one that we're having a look at for Aston Martin next season. But we've got about another seven laps on these tyres, and this is going to be his best chance. He just hasn't got that straight line speed, has he? Whoa, that Haas is just too quick in a straight line for us. We can't deal with it. However, low speed corners, that is where we're at his best, and Lance Stroll's still attacking. And still managing to save fuel even though he's on push, which is great to see. But it's just going to go, I think we're stuck really. We can't get past this Haas. Although he is looking a little bit closer now. If we have a look at the back of Magnussen's car. He's got some cracking camera angles there. So if we have a look at the back of Magnussen, he's 2 tenths behind. He has got DRS. Lance Stroll looking to go left and right. He can't get past him. K-Mag, he's parking that car perfectly on the racetrack, and it's just not allowing us a chance to get past with Lance. Although Lance has still stuck his foot in here. Still Lance Stroll looking to go around the outside. Can't manage it. Magnussen's still defending. And this time Lance might have him. Oh, he still hasn't though, has he? Still cannot quite get K-Mag. He's still on attack on these tyres. We're going to bring him in around lap sort of 21, 22, but I'd love him to get past him. This is his best opportunity, you feel, into these low speed corners. The DRS zone, I think what we're going to do is we're going to apply overtake in a second.
Use overtake. Okay.
But if we could beat a Haas today, I'd be more than happy with that. Sebastian's keeping within touching distance of Lance, and Latifi behind. He's just sticking in that DRS, in fairness to him. Albon, is Albon on the 2-stop? I'm assuming Albon's on the 2-stop, yeah. Albon's possibly on the 2-stop at the back, so he's a more aggressive strategy, splitting it, which Williams have, which is fair enough. Right, this might be your chance, Lance. He's gaining. Can he get down that inside? Oh, he's still got a foot in there, but can't get round. On the exit, he is deploying all his DRS, and Lance Stroll, superb work. Oh no, defend. And I don't think he's got DRS down this next straight. Has he?
Like Aston Martin have just gained a race position.
He's done it, but Sebastian Vettel's coming in as well. Oh, and the 2 Aston Martins, my word. Superb stuff, boys. Superb stuff. Still got...
Aston Martin with a great play there. They've moved up a place.
Right, you've got to harvest some ERS now, Lance.
Seems to have been a lock-up.
Right, that's all okay. Sebastian's still not fighting his teammate, which is good. Both our guys on push. Fantastic work. He can be on push as well. And Sebastian's got K-Mag as well. Superb work, boys. Well done between you. Right, pit window's now open for Stroll, who's on 46%. So I think now would be possibly a good time. We're going to pull the trigger on Lance. He's going onto the hard compound tyres, as we know. So pit this lap, box. And that should then release Sebastian to really go for it for a couple of laps. Right, Lance is in. Meanwhile, Sebastian's got his work cut out. He's still kept that DRS. But the important thing here is, can he maintain this position into this first corner? He can, right. Blocks off Magnussen. Beautiful work, Sebastian Vettel. And we'll now speed this up a little bit. Right, Lance is out, so that's his one and only pit stop. Good work from Lance. And Sebastian's still defending pretty well here. Magnussen's all over the back of him, but Sebastian Vettel, the wily old fox, is not going to let him pass very easily at all. Lance has come out in front of Albon, which is good. Albon's obviously got another pit stop to make, but Lance is 4 seconds in front, so that should be Albon covered off. Latifi's the interesting one here. Latifi's going to come into play at some point, but Sebastian Vettel on these now very worn medium tyres. But K-Mag has got him. K-Mag's got him. And now I think it's time to see how long he can keep in this DRS. And as soon as he loses DRS to K-Mag, I think that's when we pull the trigger and bring him in. He is on aggressive on these tyres, which is fine. But it looks like he's already losing DRS. In fact, I think he's going to do on this lap. So we're probably going to pull the trigger, I think. Depending on if he can catch him up a little bit here. Which it doesn't look like he's going to. So that's going to be Sebastian in as well, I think. I think the tyres are cooked. I think it's time to bring Sebastian in. Pit this lap.
Box.
Shift all that back to normal and neutral, that's all fine.
Drop back a bit.
And we're going to do the same with Stroll as well, getting back to neutral.
Safe fuel.
So I think what we'll do is we'll just watch this pit stop of Sebastian's as he comes in now. Mick Schumacher and Danny Ricciardo's also in the pit. Let's see what this stop's like. Right. Stop time 2.7, not the worst in the world by any stretch of the imagination. So that's 4 for our guys. Pit stop strategies complete. So let's see how it goes on now. I think it's going to be basically a procession. But once the other guys start making the second stop, that's going to be when it gets a little bit more interesting. So we're back on lap 39, and there's going to be a bit of strategy coming into play here because Yuki Tsunoda's made his second stop, which is fair enough. But Lance Stroll's got quite a bit of ERS, as we can see in the bottom right. Now, look at the gap from Stroll to Vettel, 8 seconds. I reckon if Lance can manage to hold up these guys behind, I think we can possibly get Sebastian Vettel beating Yuki Tsunoda this afternoon. That's the plan. Whether it's going to work or not, I'm not too sure. But we've got plenty of ERS. He's pushing on the fuel, which is fantastic. They both are. They're both comfortable on fuel. But I think we could possibly keep Yuki Tsunoda behind us. And we know that Lance Stroll is pretty good on this.
Let's make sure we keep them behind. Okay.
And while that's happening, we're going to give Sebastian a little bit of a hurry up as well.
Copy.
Because on tyres, Sebastian's doing pretty well on tyres at this moment in time. So it makes sense if we can keep this AlphaTauri behind. Defend.
Yeah.
Come on, Lance, I'm relying on you, buddy, here. The more you hold up this AlphaTauri, the better chance we've got of finishing P16 here, which would be probably our best result of the season. So, we are telling retirements, it must be said. Lewis Hamilton's managed to recover well from that earlier crash, but Lance Stroll now has got work to do. Both of the guys are okay pushing on fuel. I understand Yuki's on the faster tyre, which is fair enough. But Lance could do him a massive favour here, and this is hopefully going to be something that really upsets Tsunoda. If we can get him to make a mistake, maybe he's already spun once in this Grand Prix so far on around lap 24. So it's all about what Lance Stroll can do for the team here. All the time he's doing this, Sebastian Vettel is pulling away. And he has got DRS. This is probably where Tsunoda's got his best chance, but if Lance Stroll can defend properly, which he is doing, probably a little bit illegally, it must be said, and he's got him. Tsunoda's got him. The strategy didn't quite work.
This is a joke.
Yep, and Lance is not so happy about that. I can't say I am either.
Still a lot to play for.
He has got DRS, he's going back for him. Lance Stroll? Maybe a bit of regression. Fantastic work from Lance Stroll there. He's managed to re-overtake. Maybe getting a bit more there, who knows? But Lance Stroll has done an absolute solid there for Sebastian, overtaking him again. But now he needs to harvest that DRS a little bit. And hold back them cars, boy. Hold back them cars. We've got a few guys again coming in for their second pit stop. Vettel's now 40 seconds behind Mick Schumacher, sorry. But here we go again. Lance Stroll holding up Yuki Tsunoda and doing so well. Can he hold him off down this straight? This is where Tsunoda got him last time around the outside. Not this time. He has got him. But then again, he did re-overtake him on the start finish straight on the last lap. Can he do it again? Depends what sort of launch Tsunoda gets off his final turn, but to be fair to Lance, he has been pretty good down here all afternoon. And he's going for him again, Lance Stroll. Can he get him? I don't think he's going to quite manage it, unfortunately.
So Sebastian, we are all okay on fuel, so you can do what you want for speed.
Let's just see if he can stay with him now, Lance. That's the big thing. Can he stay with him? Hopefully he might pull him up. If he does catch Vettel, he might pull him up towards him. But there is 6 seconds to Sebastian Vettel. If we have a look at the last laps, I know Tsunoda were being held up to. We're a 1:24.4 for Tsunoda. We're a 1:24.8 for Sebastian. So Sebastian's not lapping that far off the pace, but really Tsunoda should be in striking distance within, so I'd say 7-8 laps maybe. Maybe a little bit more than that. We'll have to see what Tsunoda can do with fresh air now. But he's already dropped Lance, and Lance has got a job on. He's got to hold off this. This Williams behind him. That's Lance's job now. But I've got a funny feeling over that. I can't see him not doing that. Good old kiss of death there. But now it's all on Sebastian Vettel. So I think what we'll do is we'll just fast forward it now on the map view. We'll fast forward it on the map view and keep an eye on what's going to happen here. So Stroll has got to fend off Latifi, and Sebastian Vettel, all we're really watching here is that gap that is coming down rapidly. 4.6 now. Magnussen's locked up in front of Vettel. That could help matters.
Okay, energy's good.
Copy.
Right, so he's okay now. He can get on deploy on the ERS. That all makes sense. Right, let's just keep an eye on Tsunoda. Tsunoda's just dropped back by a second there, that lap. I think he had to move out of the way for the lap car.
Looks like Aston Martin have just
And Lance
gained the
Stroll
race position. We
has
can take a look
re-overtaken
now.
Yuki Tsunoda. What's
This
happened
was
there
the
then?
Aston Martin.
I think he slowed down to let the Red Bull go. And there was Lance Stroll on the hard compound tyre to whip round Yuki Tsunoda. Both Aston Martins now are beating an AlphaTauri. Right, down to neutral now, down to neutral. And that's fair enough. Sebastian now, I think we've got the AlphaTauri covered with Sebastian. Stroll's going to be battling Tsunoda to the end, I would imagine here.
AlphaTauri gained a place.
Oh, he's not pulling away. We'll fast forward it. but as we can see, Stroll and Tsunoda just swapping places consistently here.
Aston Martin with a great play there. They've moved up a place.
And Sebastian Vettel has looked after them tyres as well. And I think that's it. Stroll unfortunately now looks like he's dropped by. I think that's probably enough for Stroll now. He's got 10 seconds to Latifi. I think he just needs to go on to balance and probably just conserve them tyres a little bit. Oh, come on, Seb. Right. Push. Can we keep Yuki Tsunoda behind us? It's not looking promising. Come on, Sebastian Vettel. All hopes lie on you. We've got 5 laps left to go in this race. Can he defend? Surely these medium tyres have got to be dropping off any moment. He is using the RS. I trust Sebastian Vettel to do the job here. Can he hold off Yuki Tsunoda? Down this start finish straight. This is probably where he's going to get him. Come on, Seb. Come on, Seb. Come on, Seb. You've got another 5 laps of hard defending to do here. There's no chance of rain. Track rubber's good. Track grip's good as you'd expect this far into the race. 3 minutes is a 20% chance of rain. 3 minutes is not going to make a big difference to us unless it's a heavy, heavy downpour. But Sebastian Vettel is basically going to be doing this in his wing mirrors all the rest of these next 5 laps. Meanwhile, at the front, Leclerc leads from Verstappen. Verstappen then Sainz. He's under pressure from Sainz as well. Perez is far back. And then Bottas in 5th and Ocon in 6th. George Russell down in 7th. But the Ferraris and the Red Bulls in a little bit of a world of their own at the moment. Sebastian Vettel has got some more defending to do. We should have him covered in these low speed areas. Right, we're going to defend. And he's out. He can probably harvest it now.
We have low battery.
He can probably harvest it up to that start finish straight.
We just need to charge up.
Copy.
I think this is it. I think we've done everything we possibly can to keep Yuki Tsunoda behind him. I don't think we're going to manage it here. And that's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. I really felt we got a chance of doing this AlphaTauri today.
You are joking.
Yeah, I know, Seb. I know. Disappointing for all that. And to be fair, Yuki Tsunoda now is bombing away unless we harvest for a couple of laps, maybe. I think we've got to harvest for a couple of laps. And then go for one last final attack. We'll just speed it up a little bit. Keep an eye on that ARS. But if you can stay with Yuki, we'll go on full attack mode for the last sort of couple of laps. But I don't think we're going to manage to harvest it enough and stay in touching distance. Yuki Tsunoda is in a much quicker car. Yeah, and I think it's job done for Yuki Tsunoda. We aren't going to catch him, unfortunately. This race, like I said, Lance Stroll has managed to cover off the Williams, so fair play to him. We're very much in front of the Williams. We're very far behind the rest of the field, and we'll fast forward it a little bit quicker now. Get it on to the final lap of the race. If we can see Leclerc coming round. Nothing left to play for us, so we'll keep an eye on the battle for P2. It's Max Verstappen currently, but Carlos Sainz.
Disaster, the rears.
Yeah, Lance is really struggling now, but it's the end of the race, Lance.
How many laps am I going to get on these?
But Carlos Sainz is looking to attack Max Verstappen to make it a Ferrari 1-2 on the final lap of this race. Perez, Bottas, Russell, Ocon, Norris, Alonso and Zhou make up the top 10 with Gasly also trying to get a point off Guan Yu Zhou, and Danny Ricciardo's not too far behind him either. So there's a big battle going on for P10, but Carlos Sainz now goes to the outside. Can Max Verstappen hold him off? He can. It has got some pace, that Red Bull, as we saw this weekend in Spa. And what a performance from Max Verstappen from low down on the grid after an engine penalty. Superb work from him. But Max Verstappen has got a job on his hands here. He's within 2 tenths Carlos Sainz as he comes out that corner. DRS is open on the Ferrari. Max Verstappen now defending the inside line. Covers him off again. Lovely. Can he get a good launch off this? He can. Still, Max Verstappen, he looks like he's done enough as he comes up to the penultimate corner. He's got him round the final corner. Max Verstappen comes round for P2. Does he? Carlos Sainz has still got that DRS, but I think Max has just about got him. It's Leclerc from Verstappen from Sainz. And then our guys are going to come home. If you had to put a bet on before the race, you'd have probably said P17 and P18. You would have been right. It's going to be a long, hard season until we get some serious upgrades on this car. Sebastian's not best impressed. Again, I bet he's thinking, I can't wait to retire. Trust the process, then. Trust the process. Right then, we will skip the podium celebrations for our guys. And that's it. That's your race results confirmation. Charles Leclerc wins with the fastest lap as well. If we have a look at the driver's standings, Max Verstappen is still in front by 12 points from Leclerc from Sainz, and then Perez back in 4th. If we have a look at the constructors, Ferrari now take the lead in the Constructors' Championship after the first 3 races, and we are just down at the bottom. Like I said, our board expectation is to finish 8th. I still think we can do that. We've just got to beat one of these two, and that's what's going to be difficult. I hope you've enjoyed that. Come back for episode 4. That's going to be on Thursday of this week. Tuesdays and Thursdays now. Every week, we're going to get this Aston Martin to the front of the grid by hook and by crook. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you later.